Hi Taurus, welcome to your end of December 2016 general tarot reading. Happy New Year. It's that card again. Okay, I got 3 swords cards, so there could be some kind of an air sign featured. This is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm leaning towards Gemini. There could be a Leo person involved. The Strength card is connected to Leo. You know, based on the 3 top cards, some of you may have met a water sign individual who is really a good person. And I am going to call him a man. And if you're a man watching this, you may be happy to hear that I'm talking about a man too. So it really doesn't matter what gender you are, right? But this is a guy. It could be like a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And you know, he doesn't have to have that as a sun sign. He could be anything. He could be an air sign, which is supposed to be very detached, and he has all this water, and he's like more emotional than typical air signs. Or, you know, it's funny though. If he is an air sign with a bunch of water, then he's probably constantly talking about analyzing his feelings. That's the one thing. That's how you would know if you're with somebody who's a Gemini with a bunch of water. And or Libra or Aquarius, I should say. But anyway, so this person is emotionally mature, is not emotionally immature. This person, what does it mean to be emotionally mature? It means that when you get angry, you don't fly off the handle necessarily. You know, we all have our moments, but I mean that, you know, the person has control of their negative emotions. They can see things very in a balanced way. They're not like overly sensitive to everything. Even though they are compassionate, they're not personally very, you know, like you have to walk on eggshells with them or anything like that. And they just have this sense of where you can like cry on their shoulder. They're like very comforting. Okay, so this, you know, it doesn't mean that this is like somebody that you fall in love with, but I think it's very possible that it is, okay? And the reason I say that is because sometimes the King of Cups can be a counselor. You know, it can be either a counselor, like a therapist type of a counselor, or if you are in a church, there's, you know, they have ministry counselors and things like that, or priests or something. And that would have given you more confidence, maybe if you were seeking that counseling. But it could be a person that has kind of restored your sense of confidence, Taurus. I am seeing this as more of a you know, love reading. Even though this is a general reading, it seems like it's more along the relationships area. I suppose that some of you may have, you know, started a job with somebody and you have a boss who is like a second father to you. That's always a possibility, and that gives you strength because this is the card of slander and, you know, backbiting, people trying to get one up on somebody else, one-upsmanship. And so if that's the case, if this is a workplace situation, then your boss would have your back. But in a personal relationship, it could be a problematic air sign who is either maybe you're with that person. Maybe, you're married or you're like tied down for some reason to that person, and you have recently met a water sign. The higher message is that that person is your soulmate, or definitely this is a card of childhood, but the past. This may be an old flame. I picked this for, I think it was Pisces too. And but this is like, if there are two people, it's saying that that water sign person is really the one that you've been waiting for, or that maybe this is, somebody that you used to be with and that was the right one all along. But somehow, that sometimes happens where people, they meet when they're young and they are too immature to handle the relationship, and they meet again later, and, the timing is perfect. And they may have gone through, marriages, and it's still like they still found each other after all that time. Maybe it's like twin flames. I've been reading about twin flames lately because it's such a hot topic, and I don't know why people get so into that. I like the term soulmates. I don't know about twin flames. It's supposed to be the other half of yourself. It seems kind of narcissistic to me. I don't know, but it could be just me. But the card that crosses you is the Ten of Cups. So I'm reading this kind of like reverse card. The Ten of Cups in the upright position, you see that they are joined together. So this is a card of happy family and marriage. So we're seeing this challenge. So it could be that that somebody is threatening that marriage. And it sounds to me like maybe it is a water sign individual. And I'm not saying that to put that person down, because maybe the marriage needs to be threatened. Maybe it's not a good situation. However, if you have children, because this could be family, it could be one of those things where you want to be happy, but you don't want to upset your children. The advice is the Seven of Swords. So this is kind of like, discretion is the better part of valor. If you have some kind of a person that you're interested in, that you've fallen in love with, you don't want to flaunt it. You don't want to hurt other people unnecessarily. And plus, you may need to temporarily just be very discreet, regardless if you're, I certainly don't recommend having affairs or anything like that, but even just in communications, the swords can relate to how you communicate, so you might have to be very careful about that. And also, just maybe it's time to do a little soul searching and seeing exactly what it is that you need. And, if you've, like, let's say you were in a long-term marriage, do you want to go directly into another relationship? That might not be, even if the person is the greatest thing, since sliced bread, you might not want to jump right into something else. You may need to kind of have that period of time to, just recuperate and reboot yourself, and just to experience being by yourself and not having to answer to somebody else. That's really important, especially if you're in a long-term relationship. So, sometimes Taurus people, they really crave partnership because you're ruled by Libra. I don't mean Libra. I was thinking of Libra as the sign of the partners, but both you and Libra are ruled by Venus. And so that love, or that romantic nature, is second nature to you. And so you're like, that's what I want more than anything else, and that's great. But the only thing is, you want to make sure that you do not neglect your your own self-growth, your expansion. And the outcome is the Knight of Swords. I think in this context, it's like you are, at some point, you're just going to tell it like it is. You're not going to beat around the bush. If you have had, this is another thing about Taurus. Sometimes you guys just kind of hold things inside because you don't want to rock the boat or anything like that. And then it may just all come pouring out, and you just will tell that person exactly how you feel, or tell them the truth about the situation. Again, you want to make sure that you're compassionate and that you're not too cold. Sometimes when swords communicate, they're totally in their mind. They're not connected to the heart chakra when they're doing it. And you may feel justified. If you've had some kind of a negative experience in a relationship, you may feel like they deserve it. But it's much better, especially if you feel like you found true love, is to be a bigger person. Because, you got what you wanted, and that's the important thing. So, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I'm looking at, I think I had the camera set up a little bit off kilter. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of December. Bye.